Hi, everyone. All right, we're in the home stretch of these thinking errors. We're going to have 6 today. We'll have 6 more tomorrow. Then we'll be done with thinking errors. All right, but really, as far as these thinking errors go, once you identify which ones are yours, and you will have more than one, most probably, then the faster you can start working on these solutions. And I know I make the solutions sound easy, just do this or do that, but I understand they take time. You didn't get to where you are overnight, so change is going to take some time, but you got to stick with it. Be patient. It'll happen. All right. The first one we're going to talk about today is ownership. Now, this is a person who doesn't even recognize there's any such thing as theft. If they want something, it's theirs. This person looks at something, wants it, takes it, it's theirs, the end. And that includes people. They see people as possessions. This person believes that they're good, but they also believe that they should get whatever they want and that they truly deserve it. They will take something that belongs to somebody else, and they'll justify it by saying that person really didn't need it and that they needed or deserved it more. All right? So what's the corrective for this? Develop legitimate ownership of possessions. Earn what you have. All right? Learn that you can't have everything that you want all the time. And the most important thing is, as far as people being possessions, they are not. And you need to respect some personal boundaries. All right. The second one we're going to talk about today is fear of fear. And I know that sounds a little weird, but it is actually the idea that you have a fear that fear is going to keep you from doing some things. All right. Now, sometimes this person uses drugs and alcohol as a means of dealing with their fear. And this person, when they do experience fear, which can also come in the form of doubt or anxiety, things like that, they deny that they have it because they see it as a weakness. So, what's the corrective? Use fear constructively. We spoke about this before. Fear is there for a reason. Fear can give you that opportunity to rethink your plan. Check and see if your fears are realistic. Are these things that you can face? Are they things you can overcome? The other thing is abstain from using drugs and alcohol as a means of coping with your fears. All right? Recognize also that some doubt and fear and apprehension and anxiety is normal. All right? It's okay. Don't fear it. It really is a normal thing. We all have those feelings. All right, the next one is lack of trust. This was probably the number one thinking error with offenders, all right, because criminals see trust as weakness, all right. If you have this thinking error, you probably trust nobody, but you somehow expect people to trust you. This is someone who relies on control, not trust. And the people who they love as their victims are the people who trust them the most because they know they can manipulate them, and then they exploit that trust. All right, so the corrective here. Do some fact finding. There really are people who you can trust. If you want people to trust you, you're going to have to earn that by showing some responsible behavior over a period of time, not just once to get what you want, but it's going to have to become a habit. And realize that trusting others is not a weakness. Taking that leap and that risk to trust somebody really is strength. All right, number 28, the refusal to be dependent. Now, like anyone, criminals are dependent on others for things, but they don't see themselves that way because to them, dependence equals weakness. And they also believe it makes them vulnerable. The truth is, this person really doesn't mind depending on others, all right? But most of the time, they are not dependent themselves. All right, so the corrective for this. We talked about the idea before of interdependence, whereby you depend on someone a bit, and then in turn they can depend on you. And that interdependence, that give and take, you have to learn that's a healthy thing. There's give and take in a nurturing and caring relationship. Make some allowances for other people's faults. And accept that everybody is vulnerable sometimes, even you, and that's okay. All right. The next one is lack of interest in responsible performance. This is someone who gets no satisfaction from doing a task responsibly. They have no interest in long-term efforts. They see responsibility as being dull and boring because there is not immediate excitement or immediate payoff from it. And this is someone who, if they are going to bother doing something, certainly wants to get noticed for doing it, all right? Or it's not worth it to them. So what's the corrective for this? Act responsibly and try to develop some interest in that experience. Try to enjoy the act of doing something rather than just that feeling of getting something done and getting noticed for it. Learn to pat yourself on the back every once in a while, okay? Instead of looking to other people to validate you and notice you, all right? The last one we're going to talk about today is pretentiousness. This is someone who has a way overrated idea about themselves. Did you think of somebody right away? Maybe it's you. I thought of a couple of people. This person thinks they are the best, that they will be the best, but they rarely do their best. This is someone who might flash their money, flash their car, act superior to others, but they feel like they don't need to put forth the same effort that other people do. This person may have unrealistic goals and has no follow-through. All right, the corrective for this. All right, if you have this thinking error, you first need to have some reasonable expectations. All right? Responsibly earn what you get. Learn some patience and tolerance for tedious work. Everything is not always exciting. You need to see your self-worth based on your inner qualities and your good deeds rather than things that are superficial, money and cars and possessions. All right. So tomorrow is the last of the thinking errors. Very exciting, I know. It is a lot to absorb. I do recommend going back and looking through all the thinking error videos because there's a lot of information there. And then you can really determine better which ones fit you and start using these correctives in your life. All right? Until then, thank you so much for being here. You're really working hard. Please subscribe to my channel. I say that every day. Reach out to me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And until next time, be well.